Thank you, everyone. First of all, thank you for staying here, because I know it's not easy with the heat and digestion kicking in. I know you want now to take a nap, and we're going to do our best to keep this interesting, right? So let's just do as the tradition always goes, just a round of introduction, please. Sherban, you want to start?
Hello. Hi, happy to be here. I'm Sherban. I have over 20 years experience in banking. It's safer to say over 20, as well as electronic money issuing entity, fintech and telco. I'm part of Garanti BBVA team and responsible for the digital transformation and the product development. And yeah, happy to be here, happy to see so many familiar faces. And yeah, looking forward to the discussion. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Davor, coming originally from Croatia, working in Austria now for the last 15 years. I'm in IT business about 30 years now, first as a software developer, then in telecom industry, now in banking. And yeah, digitalization is now a hot topic, but we are doing it for quite some time so far. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Cătălin Chiriac. I'm very glad to be here for the second year. It's a very nice event, one of the best in the market when we are talking about networking. About me, I have a 20 years plus experience in banking. I was, part of the transformation, the digital transformation in the banking, and also to start to implement Agile in our market. So I think it will be a very interesting discussion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Igor Gržalja, as well, 20 years of experience. We all obviously have the same age, all of us. In IT, mainly 15 plus years in something in many ways related to the banking. Fan of, let's say, fintech, fan of banking, co-founder of Money Motion in Zagreb, also from Croatia. So we have kind of a Croatian-Romanian battle here with a moderator from Serbia. So yeah, hope to share some insights and hope it will be fun.
Thank you, gentlemen. So basically, we have quite a giants here. And the first part that I would like to discuss is a bit of how to distinguish between optimization and transformation. Where is the fine line? And why we always say that traditional banks are more optimizing on the legacy systems and the neobanks and the fintechs are transforming from the ground up. So, Sherban, I would maybe start from you here.
Yes, so I think it's pretty much related to adapting to today's reality or becoming irrelevant. So I think I can somehow summarize it by that, and I would say that it very much comes from the fact that the banks are no longer competing with other banks, but rather than competing with technology and time. Time, especially in the era of instant payments, we just saw earlier advancement of the instant payments, and as well instant gratification, because we are not willing to wait. We are experiencing a lot of services on the digital environment, which are very rapid, and we are expecting that all providers are somehow reacting within the same manner. And the banking overall, it's as you rightfully said, it's a matter of deciding between optimization, and this is definitely one way to look at it, especially in the traditional banks, or transformation. And I would say that considering today's reality, where everything somehow changes very rapidly in front of our eyes, especially fueled by the AI hype and overall AI advancement, I would say that the banks are not only just transforming, but rather than reinventing, and the financial industry and the entire sector, it's actually reinventing itself. And the main question that I would really believe that it's relevant is not how fast you can actually adapt to the market, but rather than would you survive if you don't do it. And the brutal realities are very much out there. It's the fact that Over 90% of the customers' interactions are happening on the digital environment. And the customers, as I said, are actually expecting quick, personalized, real-time interactions from the financial providers, and not, I don't know, PDF statements or 24 hours email replies, or even worse, 30 days written post. And we see that, yes, majority of the fintechs, and here not only the ones which are here, but in general, and also big techs, are really operating at startup speed, while majority of the banks are traditional banks are actually, yeah, pretty much caught in their legacy systems and in their legacy thinking, and therefore
Still trying to catch up, right?
yeah,
Seems like
I would
that.
say that it's very much yeah, it's a matter of not of a strategic project, the transformation itself, but rather survival strategy. And yeah, in our case at Garanti BBVA, we were very much put in front of this decision whether to continue in optimizing, let's say, existing system, existing journeys, and so on and so forth, or actually rebuilding. And we chose the hard way, meaning we have set for ourselves the strategy where we are replacing our entire core banking system, we are replacing all our digital channels, CRM, card management, so everything at once, because we very much believe that in order to be able to engage with the customers directly and to have a valid value proposition that will lay out in front of the customers, it's not only enough to optimize, because this might help you on a very short time period. But really adapting the latest technology that are future ready, it's basically the only way which we see forward. And looking at the good, let's say, elements or the good ingredients which are out there in the market, looking at the good examples and which we try to embark in our strategy, we saw that there are in my view there are four main ingredients, and the first one is related to the banks being really invisible. And by invisible, I'm referring to embedded finance. It was mentioned also before. So basically being able and to become invisible, being more inclusive and be part of the customer journey, but not dictating, let's say, the financial journey per se, or to become behind the login screen. To be anticipatory, and again, using the data which we already have for the customers, and using the AI and machine learning to be able to respond to customer questions even before they ask, or before they actually realize that respective answer. And frictionless, it's also important, and here I'm mainly speaking about how we are interacting with the customers in regards to onboarding, in regards to online onboarding or online lending, being able to provide a service which is a self-service in less than 3 minutes onboarding and less than 30 seconds for online lending. And the last one, which I think it's very much important, and it's fueled also by the PSD2 open banking, it's being open, not building walls, not building connections, and having the systems and the technology, because the technology, it's already there. So we are living a very, very good momentum in financial industry to be able to use all this technology and to put it at the customer, in front of the customer in the right way, to better serve its interest and to be able to better service. So I think optimization can be an alternative which would only focus on a short term, but really banking transformation and rebuilding from scratch would be the better and the most smartest and cheapest way to address to the
And
customers.
long-term solution, right? Thank you.
definitely.
Thank you, Sherban. So now for Davor and Katalin, if we extend this story and we say like what we are doing to transformation, and we give a focus a bit more to personalized banking, is this an end of era, one size fits all? Are we going to be able to offer in banking, no matter how many customers the bank is having or a financial institution, personalized banking to everyone? So we stop being a service provider and instead of that, a small pocket banker, which is really helping everyone.
The first question would be, you know, what is personalized, and do you really need to create something new for each and every personalization, or you have a system which is adaptable? Maybe just a short reflection on your first question, you know, what is transformation, what is innovation whatsoever. I mean, if you have a car and if you are tuning engine, I mean, this is not transformation. This is just, you know, doing some modifications. But if you decide not to use the car, but use the public transport or work from home, then you have transformed something, actually. The problem is we are constantly looking at banks as, you know, institutions which are supposed to be in the center of the universe. At least the banks are expecting that they are the ones who are providing all the financial services. The fact is, this is, as a customer, something you don't necessarily need, right? You want your bank to enable you manage your funds, but that's pretty much it. You don't expect bank to provide each and every a service and be part of your, you know, daily life. And I do believe that banks need to simply rethink which role in the life of a customer they really need to play. And for that, maybe they should talk to customers, because currently we are assuming that customers are checking their balances, I don't know, 10 times a day. Well, they don't. You know, they just want a reliable way to handle their funds, but that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Katalin?
Yeah, from my point of view, one size fits all is approaching to an end. Yeah, we need to have a different kind of approach to our customers, and maybe we can have different apps from different needs. Sometimes we all start to have a very good app, a master app, where you try to put everything. But I don't think it's the moment anytime, at least in our case, if you have to approach the entire market and all segment of customers, I don't know, maybe for investment you need a different app. And for sure, AI, it's a big reason why we think we're going to have an important switch at this moment of time. We are discussing about AI at the general mode, but I think we have to look, at least from our perspective as a bank, we have generative AI, predictive AI, and AI agents. Yeah, generative AI is for everyone. You can use it to write an email, maybe to say happy birthday to someone. But when we're discussing about banking, we have to be very carefully, because I have to be sure that what I communicate to our customer is the reality and it's not, I don't know, something, an illusion. So in our case, I think we are discussing about predictive AI and AI agents. And when we're talking about banking experience, AI agents will have a very big impact in how we will banking from now on. They can be a coach for you, they can manage your money or the daily banking activity. And maybe a few years ago, we were talking about blockchain. Right now, if you are looking to all the consultancy, they replace blockchain with AI, but it's not so easy in their presentation. AI needs to be, yeah, it's a very nice tool. It's a hype right now, but you have to be very carefully. And that's why, from my point of view, predictive AI, it's what is suitable for us. You have to feed it right. You have to train your AI agents. Predictive AI, for example, can help you a lot to train your new colleagues, to help them to have a shorter time when you need to interact with a customer or to solve a problem for a customer. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Igor, we're going to go now a bit on your side, a bit more about security and compliance. And can these two entities actually coexist? Did we learn anything so far from DORA, new AI acts, and which way are we going? Do we have to have this battle all the time? Or we think that we can actually, while transforming and build this into foundation and do this in a healthier way? How does this look?
Okay, so we can say there is a romantic approach to the thinking that's saying that even though that we learned something in the past and we've been, let's say, envisioning many things in the past and we think that it will be better, my feeling is that things will be more and more complicated, things will be more and more, let's say, difficult to handle. Especially because now it was mentioned AI. AI, to my opinion, is mainly used by the hackers today and less by the banks. So the tool set which hackers or the fraudsters have currently is enormous. And our population, the weakest link in the security today is the customer, end user. So he is the weakest link. And I don't know, somebody mentioned the picture during the sessions before. There is a a boxing ring with all the technologies on one side, and on the other side there is a simple David, which is not immune to any hacking or any phishing attacks. So I think in principle it will be very, very difficult. But what has been also sexy today, to say today, that we are also building applications by security by design. So everybody is in security by design. We are an IT company. I'm in IT most of my life. I mean, I would say professional life all. But security by design is difficult, very difficult to do, because it requires very smart people, predictive models in terms of understanding what will happen. So what we are actually experiencing is that some of these regulations which are coming now, like DORA, which you mentioned, and so on, are enforcing to think smarter, and I personally think it's good. No matter if it's a headache for everybody, I'm sure that in all the audience there are people, signing the contracts with DORA, which is headache. Everybody's, crazy about the supply chain, about testing, regulator coming to do the inspections, fees which will be paid. But in principle, if nothing moves us, the other guys will come and they will do the damage for sure. So from my opinion, it's important, and we should focus on the security much more. Will it destroy usability? Probably to some extent. At some point of time, some services will not be the same as today. But in principle, we need to learn from this. We learned. I mean, take for example, 10 years ago. 10 years ago, we were fighting with one-time passwords. What is one-time password? How to input this one-time password? Today, most of the one-time passwords are invisible for the customer. So they are part of the architecture, they are part of biometry, they are part of the mobile phones, encryption and everything. So it's invisible for the customer, but still happens. So it's possible, but it will require time.
True, thank you. Now we have a topic that actually I'm going to ask all four of you to give your opinion on this. We have a power play always with something Europe against America. We are trying always to do something against Visa, against MasterCard, Apple Pay, Google Pay, these giants. And we know that right now there is a bunch of companies already building the systems which are mobile to mobile and needs to be interconnected and coexist in one same payment ecosystem. And European Central Bank came with solution of Vero. So how is this going to look? Is this going to be viable? Is this going to work? What's most important? How is this going to affect our profits? And is this maybe something that is going to be at one point mandated, let's say in PSD3, like the open banking did? Sherban, you want to start?
Yeah, maybe I can say a few words. I mean, yeah, we saw it earlier also in the Worldline presentation. I would say that, it's, I mean, the more payment rails, so to speak, or the more payment options that the customer has, viable payment options, I think it's, it's in the client benefit. So, as you know, we have in Romania, we have RoPay, we have Instant, and we have RoPay, and I would say that, okay, Instant is not at the very beginning, it's already being largely adopted by the Romanian banks, and RoPay is just on its way to to have also massive adoption. I mean, we all knew that at some point this would be the story of having European interoperability in between the different schemes from the different country. And I would say that this is, I mean, highly beneficial for the customer because it provides more options, and having more options would mean more control and better visibility for the customers. How we translate those different payment options and different solutions, then this is something where we play a major role. Not only us, I mean us first in financial institution banks, because we are dealing with something very important, and I would say the pillar or the foundation in the relationship that we have with the customer is the trust. So this is somehow, I mean, I heard earlier that, okay, we are speaking about cryptocurrency, stable coins, and so on and so forth, but I would say that this is the currency which is the most valuable. It's not new, it's quite old, but basically this is the most important. So I would say how we will manage as financial providers, as partners at the end of the day to the customers, to be able to provide all these different payment means and to put them in a simple way that the customer would understand will make a lot of difference. So yeah, we welcome these initiatives, and yeah, I think we will have a major role to play in the future as a bank.
Thank you. Davor?
Well, honestly, I'm a little bit skeptical on this. And why? The call for action is very simple. Yes, we are depending on some American companies. Yes, America is now a little bit, strange acting, and we would like to have something in Europe on our own. Fine. Problem is, let's look at it from the user perspective, right? Currently, you open the account, you get with your account the credit card, Visa or MasterCard. Others are not existing. And they work fine. You can connect them to your Apple Wallet or whatever other wallet, and they work globally. We are now trying to establish something which will work in pretty much different way, but only in European Union, maybe even only in European zone, EU zone. How practical it is for a usual client? Yeah? So is it something which is really comparable in the use case in comparison to cards? I'm not sure, right? First thing. Second thing, I'm also a little bit, sorry to be a little bit negative, but everybody is positive, so probably you need some kind of balance here. Anyway, Visa and MasterCards are commercial companies. I mean, they work for profit, and they are very, nimble, very focus-oriented, and they know what they are doing, right? We are trying now from public sector actually to create a competition to a commercial company which operates fine. What could go wrong? Who will run that, really? I mean, I do believe that, again, case for action is there. I'm not sure that we are going the right way. So I do believe that we have to provide not European alternative, but to rethink what would be the different way of actually handling the payments without being dependent on the global schemes, and in the same time to offer the global possibility to use our payment services. And this is what direction which we are currently not going. So.
Yeah, actually, I share a bit your skepticism. This is exactly why I asked, do you think that in the end, and maybe Katalin, you can reply to this, this is going to be mandated to us? This is going to be one more service where we need to put a lot of effort, be compliant, have the technology, integrate, spend time, and respect the deadlines. It's quite painful. And every year we have 1, 2, 3 of them. So, Katalin.
Instant payment will become a right, not a privilege, as it is today, yeah? So we'll move forward to standardize APIs for sure. We'll come with a European solution, let me say like this. But please keep in mind it will be based on iOS and Android, which are from the United States. So we'll have almost the same dependencies. It's very difficult to compete with tap and pay, Yeah, because in the end, we have to look to the customer experience. Maybe it's much cheaper for us as a bank or as a merchant if you are using an alternative solution based to account and account payment. But what's in it for the customer in the end? Because the customer doesn't feel anything if you reduce your cost. Yeah, for the customer, the experience is tap and pay. Very important, as my colleague said before, we already start to implement RawPay. It will be an alternative solution. We will see the speed of adoption, but yeah, it's mandatory to have an alternative solution for the future.
Thank you. Igor?
Okay, interesting. Thanks for sharing also positive and negative. I would maybe put it in a sense of this panel is about optimization and transformation. My fear a bit, if I may share with also, I don't want to be negative, also perceived negative, but a fear is that de facto with this Vero and European Union sometimes initiative, we are trying to approach to optimization. So they want to optimize something where it's very difficult to optimize because the other party might be even more able to do the optimization or the other, let's say, side. And de facto, there is a need for transformation. There is a need for transformation, and transformations are always difficult, always. They usually have to have a great reason to do this transformation. Either somebody is threatening you significantly, or you might lose completely the business, or you are out of the sky. So I don't see this trigger for this transformation this moment to, let's say that this would be a super transformational project. Maybe it will come. Maybe there is a need to create an atmosphere of transformation need. And then maybe something like these payment services would take some significant place in this story. Because I think European Union has a huge potential. But if you go to nutshell, you have a big countries like France, Germany, which are dictating their own, let's say, I would say mantra, and this is overall not beneficial for the small countries at the end, neither global scale and so on. So this is my thinking about this Vero.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being part of this panel. If anybody has any questions, we have maybe around 1 minute. Maybe we're going to be able to steal some more time. Then probably we did a good job.
Okay.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Please applause.